What's up guys, Shockwave640 here, and today we're taking a look at the Super Deformed Delta Plus from the Gundam Unicorn series. And so here's the Delta Plus in its Waverider mode, and we're going to actually scoot that off for a second here and take a look at the box. So here is the Delta Plus's box. Here you can see the Delta Plus in its Waverider mode. There is the Delta Plus in its technical robot mode, and then there you have the Unicorn Gundam and the Unicorn Banshee appearing to be battling on the space dock thing that this guy comes with. There on the bottom you can see some features and such. And then here, this is number 379 in the BB Senshi line. Of course, it says Delta Plus and the Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, which is the anime that this character is from. Of course, by Bandai. Website there if you need any information. Of course, some more features. It shows the Unicorn Gundam, which is an ad. This is 1,200 yen, about $12. I think I got mine for about $13. And then there's a warning sticker on that side. And I think that just about sums this guy up. So there's the box. Here's the instruction manual. We'll just show this off real quick. Delta Plus shown right there in its painted form. There's the back view, the colored page. Here's a little comic if you want to read this. I can't read it because I can't read Japanese, at least not yet anyways, but it appears that the Delta Plus is coming and fighting all the guys that are just standing around and they're not doing what they should be, and then the bad guys, it seems, are getting mad because nobody wants to fight properly, and then they actually start fighting. I think that's what this is telling me. And of course more features, and then the rest is just instructions, which of course are available to you at mech9.com. So if you want to know how you're supposed to build this guy, check out the instructions on there if you don't have the instructions yourself, or if yours were ruined or lost. But so here's the Waverider in its here's the Delta Plus in its Waverider mode. And of course this is on a stand that this kit came with. Most of the time a kit won't come with a stand, but this guy does come with one. And so let's do the size comparisons real quick. I'm going to go ahead and take off the stand so we have a more accurate size comparison. That simply just pegs in using that port, and it pegs in where the Gundam's crotch technically is. So setting that stand off to the side real quick. And now let's take a look at the size comparison. So here we have the high grade Unicorn Gundam in full destroy mode. So let's actually move the camera over a little bit so the 640 back there is in the middle. But there that is. Of course, this is a super deformed, so it's not to scale with anything. This is 1 to 1/44th scale. So there is that. Here's the real grade Zagok, also into 1 to 1/44th scale. So there is that, if anybody wants to see how they scale. I'm going to bring in Figma Link, just in case anybody would like to see this. There he is with Figma Link, of course taller. I think all these guys are actually taller, except for the Zagok. Of course, just because I have to. Combiner Wars Shockwave. So there he is with Combiner Wars Shockwave. So about either small deluxe or large commander class size in Waverider mode. I'd say more. I'd say a small deluxe is more accurate about. But something fell on my shelf. But sorry, I get distracted easily. Have a pretty bad ADD. But there that is with a Combiner Wars deluxe figure. If anybody wanted to see that. So let's get down to transforming this guy, but first let's take a look at the details. I'd have to say this is probably one of the best alt modes the Super Deformed kit has. Obviously he's got visible hand syndrome and visible foot syndrome, but every single Gundam Waverider has visible foot syndrome. If you don't like the arms being down here, I use them as landing gear. You can always just pull them off because they are just on ball joints, so that is doable. You can't see the gun pegged in right there. You don't have to have that there either. Nothing here is permanent. Articulation in this mode, really you can just kind of flap the wings a little bit and adjust those how you please. And then the legs are on a ball joint for robot mode, so you can kind of angle those however you want. And then you can kind of arrange all this junk down here how you want. The instructions show you to just keep this stuff down like that for the robot mode, but I kind of like to fold it all the way up so it's like landing gear, because it does serve as some pretty sturdy landing gear. He kind of likes to rock a little bit, but it's not that bad. So let's get down to transformation, but first, before we do that, I want to show you the little like space thing. I can't remember what these things are called. Space Jabber, that's what this is. This is called the Space Jabber, but basically this is a display stand or a display option that can also hold all the accessories. So here you can see on the bottom how all the accessories go. You can see the Delta Plus's head, which does store on the back of the actual stand. Here you got the beam saber, here you got the extra hand, there you got the waist armor. And then here you have another display stand option. So there is that. Of course, you can take the Waverider. You can't take this thing And if you grab the display stand, this clear display stand, it's just a basic Gundam display stand. You take that off and you can switch around. There's no joints or anything like that, but it just lets you take that off and switch around. And you can plug that right there, and there you can have the space jabber flying. And what you can also do is you can take the Delta Plus, using that same port there on the back. You can plug him onto that peg there, like so, and there you can have them two flying together. Or what some people also like to do, which is also an option, you can set down that and just take off the display stand so we can make this a lot easier on us. You can take this little piece right here. What this piece helps you do, if I remember correctly, it is an adapter piece so that this Gundam can hold other Gundams. Yeah, that's what this was for. It can hold other Gundams. So basically, you like peg other. You can basically make a totem pole. You can have a Gundam riding the Waverider. You know, the Waverider riding the Space Jabber. The Space Jabber can also be flying. I can't really show it off because I don't exactly remember how to do it. I know the instructions are right next to me, but I don't want to waste time doing that. So just taking that off, and that simply just went to the bottom like you saw. Taking this off and taking the Delta Plus's head off, which just pegged on right there, using that little port right there. So setting all of that stuff off. And now, so here is the Space Jabber itself. Obviously, it's just a solid color. Here, let me move off everything else so the camera can focus. It's just a solid piece of plastic. There's some really nice looking details and stuff in the beam saber. Let's keep falling out, but there's nice details and stuff all throughout. And of course, a Gundam can hold on to these handles here, which I'll show off whenever I get the Delta Plus in robot mode. But nice details and stuff. Even on the bottom, there's a little bit of molded details for the thrusters. So yeah, it's boring. It's kind of bland, but it's better than nothing. I mean, at least we got one. That's kind of cool. I don't think there is an SD kit for one of these things, so that's pretty cool. Of course, you can always paint it if you want it to look like it did in the show, but basically this is just a piece of blue plastic. It would have been nice if they gave at least stickers, but oh well, what are you gonna do about it? But so just taking off the rest of all the stuff so we can get to all of that, they'll just simply peg into different places. So if you want to see how that works, then go back up to the video part where I just showed this, like that, and everything was plugged in, and then you can see how it all worked. But yeah, so there's the Space Jabber, and now let's get to Delta Plus and transform it into its robot mode. And to do that, you just want to grab this gun here, then you want to unpeg it from the wing. It just tabs into the port on either wing using that tab there. You just want to take that off, and you want to grab this section, fold it down, and there you got his rifle. Setting that off to the side, you want to grab all these flaps, fold them in, fold them back right here. Then you want to grab this section. Yes, these are parts formers, guys. That's the only way they could get this to transform. So you got to pull off this waist section, which does become the crotch. You got to pull off this section, which holds the legs, and the rest of this actually does transform, kind of. So setting that off to the side, we'll do the legs real quick. The legs are basically in this unique adapter piece, and they just plug in using that tab right there and goes into that slot. So you just want to pull these off. This does have storage on the Space Jabber. You just grab the Space Jabber and then you fit it around one of these things, like so. And then there's the storage for that. It's just like the waist section. It's just storage so you don't have to have a bunch of jungling all over the place. Then to transform the legs, you just want to make sure you have this part facing forward, that blue section. And you want to rotate the legs so that white bit is facing forward. And you just want to fold out the foot. And there you got a single leg. Do the same on this side. You want to grab this, rotate so the white bit is facing forward. And make sure you hit the foot aligned properly. And then fold it out. And there you got the legs. And then you grab this waist section. And these little hooks will clip right in. Well, these little hooks will clip right into these sections. And then that will groove right into that section. So it works like that, so it kind of interlocks together so nothing just falls off. Do the same on the other side. Don't hold the legs when you're doing this because it will cause them to fall off. You want to hold it from the crotch and the back skirts because it makes things so much easier. So just do it like that, and then there you have the Delta Plus's legs all done. So let's actually lower the camera a little bit so we can actually see what's happening here. Now let's transform the top section. So, and that just fell apart. Now, let me reconnect that real quick. Whoa, see, this is what I mean. You don't want to grab things by places they shouldn't be grabbed by. He doesn't like it when you grab his crotch. I don't think anybody would, honestly, but yeah. And he's falling apart again. Yeah, the one thing I don't like about this guy is the way that you have the legs connecting. It's kind of fragile until you get the waist on. But once you get the waist on it, it's not that bad actually. So to actually get this guy transformed, you just want to grab the nose cone right here, and you just want to pull it off. You kind of wiggle it around, kind of get it off. It's not wanting to come off. There we go. And then you want to grab this peg right here and fold it. Well, not fold it, but you want to move it and peg it onto that front side, and this becomes his shield. So setting that off. Now let's actually transform this section. Basically what you want to do is you want to grab these wings and fold them back on these hinges, like so. So you have them like that. And then just kind of put these blue sections above those white bits. You want to come here and you want to grab this section, fold it down, and then fold it up. So you have that going on. And then you just want to grab these arms, fold them out, fold these shoulder pads down, rotate the arms, and then rotate the hands. And then go on the other side, rotate the arm, rotate the hand. Then you want to grab this chest section, bring it down, make sure it is pulled out like this, because this gives you the clearance to put in the head. And to put in the head, you just kind of stick it in this section, like so, slide it back, and then push the chest in so that all this stuff closes up, and then that keeps the head locked in so that it doesn't just fall out. And there you got the head, and there you have everything starting to come together. Actually, I think that these are not supposed to go all the way out. I think they're supposed to go up a little bit like that, because that looks a lot better. And then this section, you want to grab it, and then you want to make sure that that flat part is facing forward, because there's the back and there's the front. You want to push that in, like so. Then you grab the waist section and connect it on the ball joint. And then that holds everything together. And then kind of split the legs so you can get in there and push it on there real good. And there you have the Delta Plus in Gundam mode, technically. I guess you could call it a robot mode if you wanted to, but there you have it in Gundam mode. So setting this back a little bit, pointing it up so we can do the size comparisons. And he's falling back. So, let's see. Oh yeah, and then you want to fold these wings down like that, because he's kind of back heavy because of these huge wings. But fold those wings back a little bit, kind of making him lean forward. Okay, I think I got him standing. Oh well. So bringing in the Zagok again. So there he is with the Zagok, obviously much shorter than the Zagok. Bringing in the Unicorn Gundam, obviously much shorter than Unicorn Gundam. Bringing in Combiner Wars Shockwave, and the Unicorn Gundam just fell over. Sorry about that, guys. My size comparisons are always falling over. They're standing on a soft surface, so they don't want to stand, but nothing I can do about it. So, about the size, Combiner Wars Shockwave is pretty much as tall as this guy, so that's a pretty nice size comparison right there. Here's Figma Link, who stands taller. And then Combiner Wars Blades. So there is Combiner Wars Blades with this guy. So obviously going to be taller because Super Deformed model kits are pretty small. But then again, they're really cheap as well. This one's a little bit more expensive because of the transformation and how much stuff it comes with. Also, you get the clear display stand and you get a space jabber. So you're paying for the $13 you paid for this guy. It's not a bad deal. So let's get in and look at the details right here real quick. You do have the teal sticker right there and teal sticker on the back for the cameras. You do have a white sticker in the background for his eyes, and then this is a red clear piece of plastic over there for the visor. You have these metallic stickers on the front and backs of the shoulders for both of them, of course. You have these white stickers here on the shoulders, or the chest, I guess you could say. The white stickers there, and yeah, I believe that was it. I don't think there's any more stickers on him unless I missed something. Also, he has another sticker on the opposite side of his face, which I'll show off in just a second. So, he does have another face. Either you can have this cartoon face, where you can pull off his helmet, and come here, and rip his freaking head off, just like this. So he's just like, oh my lord. So, you just kind of rip his brain out, grab his visor, twist it around, and it just pegs into that slot right there. And then this gives you the more realistic eyes. And also, it adds this detailed section right here. Hang on. I put the eyes on wrong. Whoops. Okay, sorry about that. I was putting on something wrong, apparently. Let's see, that's not how you do it. How do you do it again? Can't really remember. It's been a while since I've done this, you guys. No, it doesn't go right there. Oh god, I can't remember how to do this. I'm sorry. I think it went like this. I can't even really remember. I honestly have no idea. Here, let me just... Sorry about this, guys. It's taking a lot longer than it should have. I was kind of having a moment of forgetfulness there. So I think it's easier if you just put that in there, and then you put his head back on. Let me just rip his head off, actually. Just make this so much easier. Just rip that off, align everything. There we go. That's how you do it. Alright, so again, sorry about that, guys. I was having a momentarily confusion. I haven't messed with this guy in quite some time, so that basically just gives him solid eyes and this detailed part right here, so he has more of an anime-accurate look. So, actually, in the comments down below, tell me what you guys think. There's a mosquito in here. Tell me what you guys think about which eyes you like better. Do you like the toon, adorable eyes, which these super deformed BB Senshi Gundams are known for? Or if you like the more serious eyes, so that you have just a small, scaled-down version of your typical Delta Plus Gundam. So, I honestly like the cartoon eyes better because I like my SD Gundams looking more adorable. It just adds a huge mix on... They got huge menacing weapons, and then they got that adorable little face, so... I'm just gonna keep it like this for the remainder of the video, so we don't have another ridiculous episode like we just did. But, the accessories that has come with, of course, is his gun, which just simply goes right into his hand. And then there you have his rifle, which also, it doesn't show this in the instructions, I don't believe, but you do get weapon storage. You can fold that down, and you can grab the wing here, and then peg that, and then there you have weapon storage. Also, he comes with his beam saber. It looks like a toothpick, though. This is just a solid blue piece of plastic, but I did color the blade silver, or the beam silver, to give it more of a different look. So you do have that. No storage on this except for on the space jabber, so that's a bummer. And then you get one open palm hand, which is usually used for the beam saber. I like to use it with my rifle, or with his rifle I should say, but you can use it with the beam saber or the beam rifle. And it only works for this hand because he only comes with a left hand for this open palm, so you can get him doing some "would you like to come and have some tea with me, sir" poses. The only downside to this hand is on the backside it is quite hollow, so you can really only get him in some poses that remind me of The Great Gatsby for some reason. If anybody's seen that movie, post down in the comment section. It's a really great movie. I highly recommend it to anybody and everybody. So taking that back out, putting that in. Of course, all of these accessories do have storage in the space jabber, like I said. And then you have a shield, which technically has storage. It doesn't work all that well. You just use that tab back there. You just use the peg to equip it onto his arm, and he's kind of... It works a lot better sometimes. It works better if you have the peg here, but it can go on the back, and you can use that as storage. I usually do it just because. And this is a elbow shield, which, if you don't know already, I hate elbow shields. I like them on the side of the arms, but this guy wouldn't be able to anyways because of this flap right here. But it just pegs into that hole right there on his shoulder, like so, and it's not going in. There we go. So it's just like this, and then he can fire with the beam cannon, or he can fire with those, I think those are missiles. I can't remember if they shot missiles or beams, but he can use that to protect himself, or he can use it to fight. Not a very impressive shield. I mean, it looks cool, and it's got a white sticker right there, but yeah, I don't think this would be able to defend against anything, really. He needs to take a lesson from the Destiny Gundam on how to use a shield. The Destiny Gundam's got an impressive shield. Or even the Unicorn Gundam. The Unicorn Gundam's got a nice shield, too. So let's go over the articulation. So I'm going to actually take off the gun there. Articulation, you do get a double ball jointed head, even though when you try to access it, it likes to pull off his helmet. Also, if you have any other BB Senshi model kits, you can switch off his armor by taking off the helmet and switching it with the other BB Senshis. And his shoulder plates do come off to remove them and switch them on with other Gundam shoulder plates, but in order to do it, you have to split them in half. They don't just come off like that. Same thing with the wrist guards here on the hands, which are really nicely detailed, by the way. You have to take off the hand, then you have to take off that entire piece, and then you can slide on other armor bits from the other Gundams. So I just thought I'd point that out real quick. But yeah, so you get the ball jointed head, you get ball jointed shoulders. This thing here is on a hinge. He's got ball jointed above the elbow. He does have an elbow bend, ball jointed wrists. The wings are on a ball joint, and then all, like I said, all of these stuff are on hinges. And then you also do get that transformation hinge so he can kind of have his wings splayed out a little bit more. But I like to have them closed. You do get the ball jointed leg, so pretty much the same articulation with any Gundam or any SD Gundam. You get the ball jointed foot, ball jointed leg, and then you also do get the toe pointing for the transformation. And then you also do get a waist swivel, which is on a ball joint, but I wouldn't recommend trying to use it unless you want this guy to crumble apart in your hands at the waist down. So, well guys, this sums up my review for the Super Deformed Delta Plus Gundam. So tell me what you guys think about this model kit. Tell me if you like it, tell me if you hate it, and if you hate it, tell me why, and if you like it, also tell me why. Honestly, I adore this thing. It's probably one of the best things I've ever bought in my entire Gundam collecting career. This Gundam is a 2013 model kit, so it's fairly new, about 3 years old. So I do recommend it for how old it is or how new it is. It is very good. Definitely an improvement on the Super Deformed line. So I'm Shockwave 640, and I'll be seeing you later, my little Logicons.